If you've been following the channel, you definitely know that this Clio was heading to the scrapyard before I got it. Since then, we've changed the rear speaker, we've installed an AUX cable, we've put like footwell lights, we've done little bits and bobs to it to make it at least a decent daily driver. But one thing still making this car feel ancient was the radio. So today, we are installing an Android Edge unit with it that comes with like CarPlay and other modern features, and to see if we can actually drag this Clio to the modern era. First step was getting the old radio out, and this was fairly straightforward. I just had to use radio removal tools and then unclip the factory cables afterwards. And then I moved on to the sensor dash panel, removing them with just a trim remover tool, and then focused on the two T20s that held the climate control thingy on. Once all of that was done, I started removing the old little screen, and this was just held in by plastic clips as well. So now that we have the old stereo out, and what's just left now is just exposed wirings and the likes, I've got the new aftermarket radio here, and I don't know why it came in two packages, but it did. And the first box, what's in the first box is some wiring harnesses, some metal fascia. I don't know where this goes yet. It comes with the screen itself. So this is a 9-inch screen with Apple CarPlay, YouTube, Spotify, everything, the likes, name it. You can also still install, other things to it. But yeah, that one comes in the first box. And in the second box, we've got the plastic fascia. So this is what's going to replace the old one we took out here. Another plastic fascia as well. It's a combo, the both of them. Then thankfully we have a manual, an installation manual. We also have some extra wiring harnesses as well, and the CAN bus, some wiring, and then some bits and bobs basically. And that's everything for the box. So now we can go on to finding out where the wiring goes and installing the new screen. So let's start with the most obvious one. And this kind of quad lock bit here, I can see the most obvious ones is this very first one, the black one. I think it goes into here, like so. Goes into the next box, goes into the corner here. That is job done in terms of this. The last thing here is this antenna, and for the antenna I just plugged the adapter that came with the aftermarket kit as well. So that's plugged in now, and I know everything is connected. Now what we've got to do, and the main reason why we disconnected all of this, is we have to channel all these wires now, these new wires, straight through here and to pop out here where it needs to meet the screen. So it's been a bit of a hassle, but I've managed to get the wires out here using a wire puller. And yeah, take your time. If you're gonna do this, just take your time. It took me a couple of minutes to actually feed that through, and I'm hoping this is long enough actually to connect to. But yeah, now we have the radio antenna, this power cable, and I think this is the CAN bus plug, I think so. I'm not sure yet. But all of those are going to go in the new head unit, and I think we're officially done with this lower part of the car. So now that I have the wires here, I'm just going to test it first things first. I've put the screws back in just to hold this in place. There's nothing here anymore. What we're working with is this. This is the CAN bus decoder, and basically what this does is tell your car like when to power on and off the Android Edge unit, and it also ensures that this works correctly for your car in terms of your steering controls. So I'm going to install this now, and this just goes basically into this white connector here. This other one goes into the aftermarket head unit, and this is the radio antenna. I think we have to return the old screen in and connect it with this, so I'm going to do all of that now, test it and see if it works before we can finally put everything together. CAN bus decoder connected now, radio connected as well. What's left is this plug, and this goes right into the spot here. So everything is connected temporarily. Let's test the car out. Let's start it and see what's gonna come up. All right, first boot. Okay, nice. Okay, first boot seems all right. Screen responds. Okay, the radio works, kind of. Okay, not bad.
Performing the second movement of Florence Price's Symphony No. 4, chosen by my guest here today.
Not bad, actually.
Exquisite.
Sounds okay as well.
It's very good to have you here.
Not bad. So I've tested it out now, and we saw the other time radio works perfectly. And for CarPlay, the CarPlay link I think is this, and I've connected my phone as well. Everything works as it should. And let me test the sound out, because one of the things I'm waiting for is the the sound quality. I want to know what the sound quality is like. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's really good. As you saw, the old screen, I still had it connected, and the reason I had it connected is because after some research, I found out that if you do not have the old screen connected, some of the features of the car won't work, because this old screen doesn't just serve as a time or whatnot. It still serves as a means to for the CAN bus itself to communicate with the car properly in terms of temperature, clock, region, all those little bits and bobs. So the next thing to do now is to find a way to remove this white piece from the black piece, and then keep this white piece hidden somewhere at the back, and then we can finally put the new screen in and then tidy everything up. So what I'm going to do now is find a way to unclip this. I can't see any screws, so I'm guessing it's just a case of unclipping the white clips from the black one, from the black housing, and then keeping this somewhere aside. Now that I have this disconnected from the plastic fascia, I can connect the plug back in. Yeah, and basically this is going to sit somewhere here, hidden and out of the way. But to secure this, I'm going to use some double-sided tape just underneath it here. I don't want anything loose when I'm driving, really. And then this little plug as well is one of the things that are disconnected from here. I can connect the plug back in and just hide it as well. I hate this double-sided tape sometimes. So next up is the CAN bus itself, and the same thing like I've done. Put some double-sided tape on it because I legit don't want this flying everywhere. Get it off. And I'm just going to hide it somewhere around so. All right. And this is the GPS as well. I can just put this literally anywhere around here. So have that stuck on, then the wire is exposed. And that's all for now. Now we can continue with the fascias, and this just goes in here. But before we put it in, to ensure that it would actually stay put, we need to transfer the metal clippings on the old fascia onto this one. So now that we have this plastic fascia with the clippings attached now, we have to screw this both of them in to make one. It's like a combo, and the screws is directly underneath it. So what I'm going to do now is, there's two spots here, one here and one here, and the kit comes with screws and screwdriver that you can use to basically attach this. So I'm going to put that on time lapse, attach that, and then we'll move on. Now that the both of them are connected, I can simply slide this in. but I need all of these wires out of this little space because this is where I'm going to connect the Android Aid unit from. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there we go. Just like so. Okay, this is the GPS connector, and then this is the radio. Okay. We have 4 screws that needs to get attached to the back of it. There's 2 here, there's 2 here. So I'm just gonna screw that in. The screws also came in with the package. Literally just gonna slide this back in and push in. I'm gonna connect the hazard lights indicator first things first. Yeah, and then it's push on from here. If it will go back the same way it came in. So last but not the least is this old stereo. As you can see, there are no wires connected to it. It's no longer functional. It would be nice if I could get like a blanking kit to just cover here so I can like keep my phones in and use it as extra storage. But for now, this just looks weird without the stereo in. So even though there are no plugs connected to it, I'm just going to slide the stereo back in and make that look a little bit complete, if you know what I mean. And that's it. There we go, job done. We can focus on the screen itself. One thing I've noticed though, the steering controls do not work. That's beautiful. Yeah, I don't want to get copyrighted, but everything works just as intended. If you want to go back to the car itself, then you can come here to the car itself. But I think we're going to tweak some of the settings and then I'll get back to you if I've been able to get the stereo working in terms of the steering wheel keys. But for now, everything seems fine. Also wanted to point out that this little connector here, this one with the white and purple clip, is the connector for the steering wheel controls, and I didn't have that in the very first time, and my steering wheel controls didn't work. But now that I have it in, the steering wheel controls work. The steering wheel control works. You see I can increase the volume, reduce the volume from the steering wheels control. I can also mute whatever. I can do so many from here. But the best way to get that working, after you've connected everything behind the Android screen, I think the next thing you need to do is go to settings, go to factory setup. The pin is always 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 0, 0 4 times. You need to come here to your CAN settings. So that's your CAN bus setting. I clicked on CAN bus, I clicked on brand, model, and I use Clio 3 because this is the Clio MK3. Year 2005 to 2014, and that's literally it for that side. That's all you need to do there. Installation wise, that literally was a success. CarPlay is working, music is working, steering wheel controls are working, everything is all good. I'm going to link the eBay link in the description just in case you're considering a stereo like this. And as well, in the next couple of days, I'll do like a proper full review. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy the system and see what I like and what I don't like. So I'll see you guys in the next couple of days for the review. It's been a couple of days, if I'm being honest, it's been a couple of weeks since I last installed the CarPlay on the Clio. And now we're going to talk about the quirks, you know, what's good, what's not good, and stuff like that. But yeah, let's start off with the most obvious ones, yeah? So if you're very observant, you will notice that there's like a screen protector on the screen. And one of the reasons why I had to put a screen protector on this is because of the glare. So this is an anti-glare screen protector, and the glare on this display, it's crazy. Sometimes you're looking into it and the only thing you can actually see is the reflection of whatever is behind you. So I had to install this anti-glare protector whatnot, and that seems to have solved that issue. And that's the only, would I say, most obvious but about, you know, this CarPlay system. My only other thing when it comes to this CarPlay is everything just seems a little bit zoomed out. So as you can see, it's just like the icons themselves, everything just seems a little bit too zoomed out as I would have liked. I don't know if it's, I literally have tried everything to try and like reduce the scale, but nothing works. I've come here into accessibility options and literally the text size is like the smallest it can be. See that is the smallest it can be. So I guess that's just how it comes, but that's just me nitpicking. There's nothing else I can actually, complain about when it comes to this car. It fits properly. If you can look at it, it looks OEM. There's no rattling whatsoever. It just looks like it was meant to be on this car. And that's one of the things I like about it. The music as well. The music is so clear, so crisp. I can't believe the upgrade from the previous display and the previous music system to how this is. If you remember, this car didn't even have Bluetooth. So it's so nice having to use this without any clutters at all. Like I don't even have to connect anything. Just step into the car and go. That's it. Just step and go. I've also never had any issues with it not turning off or battery drain or power draw or stuff like that. Everything has always worked. I've never had any issues for the past couple of weeks that I've been using it now. Most of this apps here in terms of like say your car system, like your car info and whatnot, all of these are just useless if I'm being honest. The AC controls, blah blah blah, nothing here works. Your normal manual AC controls, that's what works. The car settings itself, nothing here works, so don't stress yourself with that. Nothing here works as well. This doesn't even really relate to the car, if I'm being honest. The TPMS system has nothing to do with the car. If you can see, it's literally the same number as what is here. Like that, those are just bits and bobs, but nothing here that I would actually, okay. The only other thing that I've noticed as well is like these buttons on the top here, for some reason I've stopped working. I don't know if I've tinkered with the settings to stop them, because there are like some settings you can do to manually customize what these buttons do, but they've stopped working. But all these buttons are literally the same as here, so it still works here, but none of these ones here work. I don't know what I've done. I have zero idea. The sound system, again, is better, 100% better than stock, obviously. In general, would I actually recommend this? Obviously, 100%. It's such an upgrade to the little screen that we had on this car before, and the fact that it introduces Bluetooth, especially to this old car that didn't have Bluetooth, and it just makes it, with ways, it just feels like an extension of your phone. The convenience of just having to just put your phone in, it connects automatically and you just drive and go wherever you're going. Maps works well, music works beautiful, the sound system has been upgraded as well, and there are like some other bits and bobs you can do in terms of like tuning the audio quality to how you actually want it. So I can't actually not recommend this enough. It is like a 100% upgrade to the previous screen that was in there. And for so little money, yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's honestly a no-brainer. I always say like one of my non-negotiables when it comes to like daily in a car is CarPlay. CarPlay has to be like just something that elevates your driving experience from it just being to, fair enough. So yeah, that being said, that brings us to the end of today's video. I've had so much fun, dailying this car with the CarPlay, and I would 100% recommend, like I said earlier on, to anyone, because it's such an elevation from that little screen to this. And yeah, please drop a like, drop a comment if you have any issues, or if you want to install something like this yourself, and subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps the channel out so much. And I'll see you guys in the next video. So peace out, God bless, and stay safe.